Welcome to the fourth session of the therapy course dedicated to working with social anxiety. You already know how excessive concentration on yourself can cause social anxiety. What's more, you already know how to switch the focus of your attention from yourself to your surroundings. Today, you'll find out what role thinking plays in forming social phobia. In the long run, this knowledge will help you to identify the negative thoughts that cause anxiety and replace them with more positive alternatives. Thinking includes a multitude of processes: memories, impressions, expectations, assumptions, and beliefs. Everything that happens to us makes us think. With the help of our thoughts, we interpret everything around us. Sometimes our interpretations can be accurate, but other times they can be too optimistic or too pessimistic. Imagine you're thinking, they don't want to see me. They don't think I'm nice. They probably think I'm weird. How do you feel when you think this way? It's probably unpleasant for you. Thoughts affect our feelings. Therefore, if you change your way of thinking to a more positive one, you'll feel better. This is the basic principle of cognitive behavioral therapy. A lot of what we think can be hard to express in words. At times, thoughts rush through our heads so fast that we don't even manage to grasp them. But in order to transform negative thoughts, first you need to identify them. This will be the first step in positively transforming your thinking. Thinking can hypothetically be split into 3 levels. In an alarming social situation, negative thoughts can appear on each of these. The first level is called attention. People suffering from social anxiety pay attention to the things that correspond to their fears. The second level is negative automatic thoughts. This is like the flow of consciousness inside your head or the inner dialogue you conduct with yourself or others. For example, I said something wrong and she got offended, or I'm definitely going to be fired after that terrible speech. The third level is called beliefs and rules. These are your core beliefs and assumptions about yourself, other people, and the world. For example, we might consider ourselves to be weird, boring, inadequate, unattractive, and that might be our belief. In order to compensate for our shortcomings, which often do not correspond to reality, we construct rules for living. For example, I have to be fun and interesting, otherwise people won't like me. Or, in order to be accepted in society, it's necessary to do everything right. A person might have feelings about both themselves and others. For example, someone might have a belief that everyone is constantly looking out for the mistakes of other people and noticing their flaws. In reality, thought is far richer. Apart from the 3 levels listed, mental images and memories play an important role in forming social anxiety. Images are often fleeting, it's hard to discern them, but they trigger strong feelings and reflect the attitudes of your personality. Among people with social anxiety, expectations are also common. For example, the expectation that you're going to be judged. We get used to certain ways of thinking. This is how thought patterns form. Let's look at a few thought patterns that often cause symptoms of social anxiety. Before the event, people might predict that they're going to do something wrong or that their inadequacy will somehow be discovered. They might also apply the pattern of catastrophization, predicting that everything will end in disaster. Or fortune telling, when they tell themselves that they will never be able to do something. Both patterns trigger anxiety. During the event, many people engage in mind reading. In other words, they make guesses about the thoughts and motivation of others. People can often take this personally. For example, if someone leaves the room when you're talking, you might connect this to yourself. Or if someone laughs, you might think that they're laughing at you. After the event, some people can't stop thinking, in their opinion, things went wrong. They endlessly judge and criticize themselves and make assumptions about what impression they made on the people involved. Some people disregard positive facts as if they don't matter. For example, they think they were praised out of politeness. Or they might overgeneralize. For instance, if they spilled a drink or didn't understand a joke once, they assume this is always going to happen. So now you know that thinking is a complicated process that includes many different components and takes place on different levels. Thus, certain thought patterns are characteristic for people with social anxiety before, during, and after the event. Now you know more about how negative thinking causes social anxiety. We suggest you complete an exercise that will allow you to put your new knowledge into practice, to uncover and analyze your anxious thoughts.